Wait. Oh my god, yes! Rewind the tape!
Guys, welcome to this week's episode of Wait, Rewind the Tape, where we are going to attempt to talk about the Rings of Power, aka the sequel to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But full disclosure, I finished the season when it finished, so that's a while ago in TV times. A lot of other information has filled my brain now. I wasn't always paying the most attention when I was watching it, so yeah, let's see where we go. Ruth, what did you think of the series before we get into our how was your weeks?
It was really difficult to get into.
Wait, actually, let's put a pin in that and wait until, let's just get the how was your weeks out of the way.
Okay.
How was your week? What have you been doing?
From what I remember, it's been a good week. Ironically, haven't been drinking.
Oh, I wonder if those two are correlated.
I know. Like, I can't remember when I don't drink. I'm like, life isn't worth remembering. Guys, yes, I know how I sound. And yes, I'm trying to deal with the fact that, yes, I clearly have issues with alcohol. Yeah. I achieved something cute, which I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Sorry, it's not a big deal, listeners. You know, it's going to be something small and insignificant and embarrassing, which is why I won't share it. I mean, big to me, but I mean, in the grand scheme of life. My laptop the battery's being changed. So I didn't lose anything off my laptop. That was a whole hoo-ha because I hadn't backed it up since January 2022, baby.
Oh, I didn't know when the last time I backed mine up.
I would suggest backing up.
Yeah, everything is on the cloud.
Oh, everything on your laptop's on the cloud?
I feel like, yeah, because I can get it on my phone as well.
Okay, I have a lot of documents. Okay, so documents is in my document and desktop is on the cloud. But basically, my music isn't on the cloud.
Okay, well,
that's the only thing that I could eat. No shade to me, but even if I lost all the documents on my laptop, I don't know if I'd care. But if I lost an album,
I don't have anything on my laptop that is as valuable as that. Even all of these recordings, which certainly aren't, are
they're on
the cloud.
Oh,
so
I shouldn't say exactly which one.
I know,
easily hacked.
So
Google own YouTube. They're on YouTube. There you go.
I, in a similar vein to you, although I don't know what your little small thing that made you, that has made you proud and happy, I have a similar one.
Can you share?
Yes, I will share.
Yours is going to be something amazing.
No, it's not at all. I've already told you.
But that is amazing.
For the listeners, I've finally set up a Hinge profile. One of the things that was stopping me, what did you think I was going to say? My reef.
Your amazing reef.
Okay, well, yes, but I already knew.
I'm sorry, but it is, I was not, so listeners, sorry, I will stop doing this because I know you're like, please shut the fuck up and talk about Lord of the Rings. But Natalie made a reef like from scratch.
Yeah.
So when she was like, oh, I'm going to like show you the reef, like, you know, it was super cash.
Did you think it was going to be shit?
I didn't think it was going to be shit. I thought it was going to be simple because.
Okay.
No, just not basic. I thought it was going to be nice. I just thought it'd be simple because to me, that what you've made looks really hard to make, and it looks better than when you bought like all the stuff when they, you know, when it came in a pack that you made.
Yeah.
It looks better than that. So I was like,
yeah.
How did you do it? It would be like if I was like to you, okay, I've cooked dinner and I bought one of those sets that like comes with the exact measurements and I follow the instructions. Then I'm like, okay, I made it myself this time from scratch. And it was like way better. You'd be like, okay, Master Chef. That's exactly what it was like.
Yeah, it was, it's, when I finally make my reel, maybe we'll post the reel on Wait, Rewind the Tape so you guys can see exactly what we're talking about. Because when I shared this with in my family chat, the only response that I got was from my mum. Shout out to her, she is amazing, but you know, you don't always get the reaction that you're hoping for. She just said very different style. And then when I told my sister, when my sister and I were laughing about this, she then a full 36 hours later, well, no, okay, maybe not that much, but a full 12 hours later, sent in the chat like a really overcompensated message about how talented I was, how amazing I was, how she was going to commission me to do one for her, how she always thought she was a creative sister, but wow, have I shown everybody how wonderful I am. It was way too much, but I appreciated it. Anyway,
I'm just laughing because that is exactly something my mum would say, and that is exactly something my sister would do after a conversation like that. Oh,
but also, just before I get back to the Hinge thing, something really sweet about this wreath, guys. So last year, I wanted to make. Well, I had this idea in my head that I was going to make, handmade garlands. Lol. So I'd asked the guy at the bottom of the road who, when they just pop up with the Christmas trees, if he could save me some branches, if he had any. And he said he would, but then when I went down the next day, he didn't. He just kept not having them, and he kept forgetting. And then yesterday, or no, whenever it was over the weekend, I was walking down the road, and I hear somebody like open a car and just be like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "Oh my god, like what have I dropped or what's going on?" It was this guy who was like, "Oh, I remember last year that you said that you wanted branches, and I didn't do it for you last year, and I kept forgetting. So every time this year, I've kept seeing you walking around, and I just kept thinking, I must remember." Yeah, like scavenging. And I thought you were really sad, just like walking down the road. And he kept thinking throughout the year that he really had to remember to save me some fucking branches.
That's very sweet.
And he had. And then he just kept saying, "So I'll just keep saving them. So keep coming down. I'll have even more tomorrow." I haven't got enough now for one wreath. And am I going to make garlands? Probably not. So I feel bad now, but maybe I'll make one for my sister. It is amazing.
Is so sweet. Yeah.
It's cute, isn't it? It's
I
like such a Hallmark meet cute moment. Yeah. Wish I was super attracted to him. Oh well. Sorry. I don't care. Anyway, guys. Why is this funny? Is anybody else laughing?
It's just because you're like, "Oh my god, it's so sweet," but he's kind of ugly. But if not for that,
okay, yeah, sorry, yes, I'm superficial.
But
he's not ugly at all. It's just more like I wish it was. I
wish it could be different between us.
Yeah, I wish there was more of a spark from my side. I wish the chemistry was undeniable. But now I worry that it is from his side. You know what happens in these situations?
Honestly, when you told me the story, I just thought he's just it sounds like he's just a really sweet person. He's just
I think so, yeah.
But in retrospect, is anybody let's not make this a toxic thing.
In retrospect, when somebody says, "Throughout the whole year I've been seeing you. I keep seeing you and I keep remembering." No, sorry, let me not twist something that was really lovely and actually made my day.
I'm not going to lie. This is one of those things where I'd be like, "That's so sweet." And it reminds me of like when I was young and I thought everything was so sweet. And my dad would be like, "You are going to get kidnapped one day.
Why are you so naive?" Yeah. So back to the other thing, the thing that I finally done, set up my Hinge profile. And one of the things that one of the reasons I've been putting it off. Yeah, but not in like a real way, but I guess more in a way where it's like, "Oh God, I really feel like I should do this," because if I do it, then at least it's one step, not necessarily one step closer to finding love or whatever, but it's kind of like just putting myself out there. Well, yeah, sure, why not? Love, sex, like not friendship. I don't care about friends.
Love and sex, magic.
Making more friends.
Song by Sierra. Why did I say Sierra?
And Sierra. JT.
Yes, wonderful song, incredible video.
Yeah, so I managed. I was like, "Who am I kidding that I can't find any photos?" I have loads of photos.
I have none. That's so interesting. But you have a life.
I have stuff that I've posted things to Instagram before, so I'm just like, okay,
Yeah, but you
do you know
also
what? This
do
whole
loads of like activities.
no, it probably just seems like I do loads of activities. I definitely don't. But anyway, that's not the point here. But now you can also put videos on, which I think is great because I've also got a lot of videos, and then people get a real moving picture of who you are. It's not just like a good angle, although videos can be good angles, but you know what I mean. Anyway, my point is I've set up a Hinge profile and I've felt good that I'd done that, but immediately it's like, ugh.
The worst place on earth.
It's just like so uninspiring. I tell you what, it's also made me realize two things. One, I already knew this. It's made me remember that I'm pretty unforgiving, I think, sometimes. And also it's making me revert back to like monstrous form. Just like in the things that I will not tolerate or just be like, ugh. For example, when people just send you one word greetings or like, the haze or the good mornings and that's it. And then nothing else. Just
I
kind of
know
thing.
what to say. I'm a high person.
Exactly. What am I supposed to say? You messaged me, so it's so lazy to just then expect me to then carry the conversation. Why are you messaging me?
No, I think that's more like, hi, are you interested? Like it's like a...
No, this is with people that I've already been speaking to. So like the next day it'll just be like, hey. I'm just like, can you at least ask me a question?
But if you're like...
Why are you... No, don't... See what I mean? You're like, this is such an unreasonable thing, Natalie. I'm like,
I don't think it's unreasonable, actually, because it's just, I never know what to say. Oh, I can be too specific, though.
Yeah, but when you're saying, if you were going to message somebody, what...
I think I'd just say hey. Because I just want to know if they want to date me.
But if you'd already had a conversation with them and then this was another day...
Oh my God. I hate that.
That's what I mean. If it's the first time, okay, it's a bit boring, but whatever. But with Hinge, you've got prompts. So there's always something that you could say about somebody's profile, I think.
Yeah.
If it's just somebody that you've already been talking to and then they're messaging you the next day or a few days later and they just say, hey, that is so irritating to me.
It's like, you know how I feel about this. It's why I don't give out my number, because I feel like once someone has your number on WhatsApp, all they're going to do is text you, message you, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
Yeah,
hey, how are you?
This
hey,
is
how are you?
my,
hey, how are you?
This is the problem that I've found, yeah.
And it's like, we may have just spoke on the phone once or twice. It's like, you know stuff about me. Why don't you get more specific?
Yeah, or at the very least, just pull out a basic question out of your ass, like, how are you? How was your weekend? No, I hate it too, but at least it's directive. Not like in the most passive way. But just saying, hey, when you're reaching out, why are you making it my problem now to come up with a conversation? I didn't message you. I didn't want to speak to you at this moment in time. Am I wrong?
Stop creating labor for me. Conversational labor.
Exactly. Now I have to think of something. Or just be like, hello, what do you want? What do you say back to hey? It's like, oh, hi, how are you?
So out of 5 stars, what would you give Hinge?
I'm currently giving it like 2, if that. And I'm just not even
being a generous score.
I'm not. I resent the fact that I get a limited number of likes on the free package. There's just so many ways that they're trying to get my cash.
Yeah,
and get me to upgrade.
Honey, the day will come when you will pay.
Oh no, I'll sooner delete it. You know what I'm like? Because also, this has made me realize or like empathize with Mango all over again. Just wait, bear with me. So Mango is, like she's a reactive dog and she can get quite, especially when she first came, to England. That is, she's an immigrant, guys. She and she's because she's quite cute and cuddly or whatever. So people are like want to be friends with her. She'll go up to people. She'll have a sniffle. She might even be appear to be friendly or be like, "Oh, hey, this is cool." But then when somebody turns around and actually shows some interest, she's suddenly like, "Get the fuck away from me!" And I just feel the same. Like sometimes it's like I'll be chatting with somebody on Hinge, and it's like it's fine because Hinge it's a safe platform. But then when you take it to WhatsApp, or then they just say a completely innocuous and something that shouldn't trigger me this much, hey, I'm suddenly like, oh my God, what exactly? Whereas before it's like, I was okay. Actually, I'm not even got that comfortable with a lot of the attention. I think that's this is going to sound awful. That's because a lot of the guys I've been trying to, sorry if you're listening. I'm not. God, no, this is so messy. I apologize, but I've not been like, I am so excited to be talking to this person. This person's amazing.
You're already like, let me give this bozo a chance.
Yeah, something's piqued my interest about their profile. Usually something they've said as opposed to a photo. And I'm like, cool, we've got some kind of conversation starter. But then when people start being like, oh yeah, you're really like you've got a great profile, or you like really gorgeous by the way, I'm like, oh, ick. These are nice things for people to say, but also I can't be bothered with having like these drawn out conversations with people. Not that I'm even at that stage with anybody. I feel like I'm projecting onto things that could possibly happen that I already feel gross about. And I'm sure if I really liked or even half liked any of these people, then these things wouldn't ick me out so much. But let me just say that I've set this up and I feel like it's going to be pretty soon before I'm done and I'm back into my hermit cave.
You've given me an idea for an app. You would never use it. Do you remember Chat Roulette?
Yes, I do.
It's called Blind Date, and every like evening at 7 p.m. you have a 20-minute date with someone, video call. You have never seen them.
Do you have is there an algorithm working in the background that at least kind of tries to match? It's not totally random.
It's like not, but once in a while it'll give you a red herring.
A wild card.
Yeah.
I like how I thought you were going to say it'll give you a red flag. Like, fucking hell, this app should be called Red Flag.
Because I feel like obviously this idea that there's so many different like compatibility tests and personality tests, but it all depends. Well, me and my mum were talking about personality tests earlier. It's always dependent on the mood you're in when you take the test. So it's just not an adequate enough way. And even if you think you know exactly what you want and need in a partner, compatibility, there are so many variables that it's like no one can ever really know until they're in it what. So once in a while, a wild card is just funny.
True. And it's, easy, breezy, light. I feel like that in many ways that's easier because then you're going on, you're committing to a 20-minute phone call. That's it. If you like them, great. If you don't, it's fine. Whereas all this chat, it's kind of like, where's this going? Like, are we going to decide to meet up for a coffee or something? And then I have to decide, do I actually want to do that? Or go for a drink? And then we just get drunk and then I probably kiss you. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah.
Or we sleep together and then I didn't really like you, but then I do like you, and then you're a dick. I'm sorry. I'm projecting scenarios, and I'm trying to be very like
not really love.
Just it's okay. Like you don't need to be triggered. You're not committing to anybody just because you are talking to somebody. You don't have to do it like see them or meet them. Maybe you should just meet people. Oh my God.
You don't have to be triggered. Maybe you should meet people. Like, leave me alone.
I guess, but then, I don't know. But like,
no,
why is meeting people just
such
a difficult thing for me? It's fine when I meet people at work and whatever.
Yeah, you are talking to strangers. You never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
There's no commonality.
Yeah. And you know I don't like direct conversations. So if I don't like somebody, then it's like, fuck, what do I do now? I think this is the fear. The fear that I'll have to be clear with somebody.
Oh, I thought you meant directors in one-on-one. I was like, since where?
No, I don't really love meeting people one-on-one. But then after the first 5 minutes, it's fine. Even if you decide you don't like them, it's always fine.
Okay.
Well, we've spent about 53% of the allotted time of this episode talking about my shit Hinge profile. Actually, I find my Hinge profile hilarious, but I feel like a lot of people don't. Although more people are actually liking my prompts now than when I first put it on, where it was just basically the videos. And yeah. So
yeah.
That's good.
Is it like MySpace? Can you have a pic of its song? Have they changed it? Have they upgraded?
You can have a voice note, and most the voice notes that I've listened to, because often I'm like, I'm not listening to this. I don't want to hear your voice in my fucking house. When I've been brave enough to do so, listen to me.
Sorry, this is hilarious.
It's just been a song, and I'm like, that is copping out. Although, thank you for not putting your vocal cords into my personal space.
But I do like the idea of someone doing like one of those 90s noughties style answer phones where they've got a song in the background and they're talking over the top. I'd find that so funny.
What do you mean? Like they've got like Vitamin C Graduation playing in the background. As we go on, we remember all the times we... Okay, I'm singing it badly, but you'll probably know it. They play
all together now.
Oh, no. That's a classic.
It's the same song to me, honey. I like that
song. Right. Let's get on to the main event, or for as much of it as we can stomach. Rings of Power.
I'll tell you my first thought watching this, guys. This is the last time I'll objectify someone, maybe. When I was first watching this show, and I first laid my eyes upon the elf of African descent, I could not believe that is the elf you guys were complaining about. I have never complained about a handsome man in a show in my goddamn life. So I was like, oh, you guys are really racist because he is delicious.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that racism is okay if you're not. Racism is totally fine. No. God.
Ishmael.
Like,
Ishmael Cruz Cordova.
Is he South American?
Let's have a look. Afro Puerto Rican.
Oh. I'm not oohing at his genetic makeup. I am not a maniac.
his face.
Yeah. Which is
essentially
it's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gorge.
He is. Not that that's the point, but in a show that I was struggling to hook, I think it was just a shock because I'd heard so much of the outrage that I just couldn't when I saw, I just couldn't believe it.
Was the outrage, and I think I know the answer to this as well, it was more directed at elves as opposed to like the half-foot. So it was fine that Lenny Henry was in it.
Yeah. No, it's like they were like angry that there was a black elf.
Yeah, but nobody cared that there was a black half-foot.
Not that I saw. Lenny Henry was really good in this.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Still not enough to hook me into the show, but he was
he's dead now as well. So I mean,
everyone's saying that, but I thought he was dead, right? And then something else happened that made me think, oh, is he? Is he not dead?
I think he's dead.
Okay.
Well, so the recap, man of recaps, we've got to shout that guy out. If you ever are going to do a podcast episode about a show or a film that you can't remember, just go and listen to this guy.
Even if you can. Like, I learned more about the odds and ends of the show from him than I did from watching it.
Yeah.
Because the problem with the show is it's I can't say it's bad. It's objectively good. Like, they had good characters, gorgeous sets, but there was just too much blank space in it. There was too much time for my mind to wander.
Yeah,
and then
that's fair.
What would happen is I would get confused about how things were happening.
And also there are a lot of different storylines going on.
Yeah,
at
I
the
feel
same
like they
time.
could have simplified it by doing when sometimes when like
An
a
episode
movie,
focuses on
on one story. But I think that would have required some more interesting plot developments. Like the big aha moments, I like realizing that Mordor was created in this season. I did not know that until I just watched that recap. I didn't get what he was doing.
Okay, but then that's also because because you hadn't watched the trilogy, you didn't know about Mordor.
But it's not like, oh, okay, I guess if I don't know. Okay, maybe, yeah.
Because when I saw that and you see the big mountain or whatever, and you see the city underground and the fire and everything, you're like, oh, that must be Mordor.
Okay, I want to watch it again then, but I don't know if I'll sit through it.
That recap was basically everything you needed to know.
But there was bits of it that had so much potential. Like they were kind of giving me Disney adventure meets epic. Like it was like nice, but it wasn't consistent enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
It couldn't hold my attention for
watching
long enough.
I really liked the show, but I think so much of that was, as I've said many times, I feel the nostalgia that's tied up with the Lord of the Rings franchise.
I think that's definitely what a prequel can actually last off. Like that's how it should be.
Having rewatched the Lord of the Rings film so recently, the Rings of Power definitely isn't quite hitting that level.
It just doesn't make sense because Lord of the Rings as a film is mostly action. It's not a drama, is it? Whereas this is more of a drama, so there should be more, even though there is a lot of action in this.
But The Fellowship was more of a drama. If we're going by that,
I know I've changed my mind 3 times, but yeah, thinking about that was the most interesting film in terms of the story. I guess it's just the fate of Lord of the Rings. There's too much to cover, so at some point you're inevitably just going to get lost.
Yeah, that's fair. But yes, there was definitely things in that recap that I didn't pick up on or didn't quite pick up on in.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be watched multiple times. I tried to start again, even because for the first, normally it takes me 3 episodes to get into a new show. I was by the 4th, I was like, oh my God. So I tried to start again. I just couldn't, like there were bits of it that were sweet, but I just couldn't really get into it. I just couldn't. But I will say that and not to skip, but the final episode was, I loved the season finale. That's when it all kicked off.
It definitely all kind of comes together and the drama happens.
Yeah.
In the final episode. What, again, also something that I didn't pick up on was, until that recap, man of recaps, you're a legend. I think I thought about it when I was watching it, but just didn't, I don't know, whatever. Let me get to the point. When Galadriel and Halbrand and the Númenor army comes to the Southlands and they rescue the village and they capture Adar. And he's explaining about how he used to be an elf but was corrupted. So that's now why he's an orc. That's where orcs come from, which actually I think is something that they had to look at or Tolkien had to review and revise, because if orcs are elves, then that also means that they are immortal. But anyway, that's a tangent.
But you could also, it's fancy, you could make it up that once an elf is corrupted by evil, they're no longer, they lose their immortality.
Yeah, could be. So when he kind of did the moral flipperoo and was like, that this is my story and I'm just trying to find a land for my people.
She was like, fuck you.
Let my people go. No, sorry, I can't. You're saying I can't compare this to Prince Ramses and Moses.
We've spoken about it. They are all these shows are based on.
Oh my God, I'm not comparing the orcs to.
No, but they are all based on religious texts. Whether they say they are or they're not, they are. But I thought finally they're humanizing the orcs.
Oh yeah, and then
justice for the
Galadriel's like, "Fuck you."
That didn't come across great in the moment.
You don't get a land. But I think what's good there is that they're also showing that Galadriel is a is also blinded by her own grief, her own agenda.
Yeah.
And she doesn't, it's making her not really think humanely, even though I know she's not an elf. I mean, not human, but you know what I mean.
Considering what she just faced and everyone who died, it's like in the first war that they were fighting, you cannot, I just think it's interesting thinking about the opening episode was like quite good but it was just too many things. I don't want to watch an episode of television and feel like I don't understand the plot.
I'm just thinking about another storyline. Like, let's just list the storylines. So we've got Nori and the Harfoots, and then later Gandalf coming in.
But it was sweet to a point.
Not adding as much to the immediate story, but I guess it's setting the scene for later on down the line, so maybe needed.
No, 100% needed. Yeah. The reveal almost made it worth it. I just don't ever want to be bored. And it was getting a bit...
So Nori and the Harfoots.
I don't want to watch this.
Then we've got the elves.
Yeah.
At the beginning. And then we've got the dwarves and the elves and the dwarves.
Yeah.
And then we've got Galadriel's story. And then...
With the humans.
With Galadriel's humans.
On her own.
On her own. And then Galadriel's story with the humans going to Numenor.
Yeah.
And then the people at Numenor left behind.
Yeah.
With the guy that's basically trying to take over Numenor. So that's only 6. Then we've got, oh my God, sexy elf, and sexy woman.
Yeah.
And her son.
Her son was ugh.
Yeah. He made some mistakes, that's for sure.
I had no empathy for that child.
And then the orcs.
I'm a horrible person. Yes.
With Adar, whatever. And then when what's he called? Arondir? Yeah, Arondir gets captured by the orcs. That's like 9 different things.
That's the thing. Blink and you're confused. Like there was the point where I realized I was lost was the episode where, so it was the humans versus the orcs, and it was like, how are they
the
going
Southlanders?
Yes, how are they going to survive this attack? Because by the looks of things, they are so outnumbered.
Yeah.
How did they last till the morning for Galadriel to come with the Salvation Army? And I didn't also understand. I don't think it was clear that that's where she was going. So I was like, what are you doing? And that's when I was like, I'm not rewinding. I don't care. This doesn't make sense.
Push forward.
How did they survive to the morning? There was too many orcs.
Yeah, and they were already in the town hall with them.
Yeah.
When it was dark.
It didn't make sense.
Anyway. Yeah, so there was a lot going on basically.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still going to watch it till the end.
Oh yeah, I wonder if it's been commissioned for all of the relevant seasons.
I think it will be, because even if people are saying it's trash, it's such a big name for Amazon to have. They're not going to cancel it.
True. And remember I told you that Netflix and HBO, I think, also pitched for the rights to it, and the Tolkien estate gave it to Amazon, because I think Netflix, or maybe it was Disney, somebody wanted to make it like more Marvel-esque.
I
don't know how, but
I don't
this felt like it at least stayed true to the
films,
to the original stylings of the films, and
but the film for it to transition well into a series, it can, like, I understand it's a family show, but it's like this is becoming a bit too childish in places. Like for me, like the heartwarming moments would have been more heartwarming. Like, no, they were heartwarming, I'm not gonna lie. Like Gandalf at the end, just that final episode was amazing. But I just could have done with a bit more grit somewhere.
You wanted some grit, you wanted some sex, you wanted some...
It doesn't even have to be sex.
Doesn't it?
But no, but I mean, when I say something is, when I say it's sexless, I don't mean there's no sex. I just mean it's a bit censored.
I know what you mean.
It's a bit like Barbie pulls, no, not Barbie, Action Man pulls, sorry, let's leave women out of this. Action Man pulls down his smoothed over genitals, but some people don't have genitals at all, do they? Or they're so small that you can't really see them. I don't know if that's true though.
Okay, let's stay away from it being sexless, but I understand what you mean when it's a bit almost twee.
Yeah,
and it's not supposed to be. It's still supposed to be giving some.
Yeah, I think HBO should have got it.
Yeah, now that would have been a different.
But they would have probably done way too much. Just 9 hours of orcs torturing elves. Now you're like, oh, great. This is not what I want to watch.
Are there any other big moments that we should talk about?
To be honest, the main characters, I do enjoy them. I think they did the sexual tension and their 2 love stories really well. And I think the fact that
Wait, which 2 love stories are talking about? The elf Bronwyn and Arendir.
Evil, yes.
Yeah, not evil.
Not evil?
Oh, sorry, elf. Those are 2 separate things. Yes, elf. Gladriel and Sauron, Halbrand / Sauron.
That was so funny, and I actually had an idea once. I sound like the guy out of Arrested Development, but it reminds me of an idea I had. I'm sure he talks about it for a video where, like, you play like you're both like vigilantes, but then the person who's like the anti-hero is actually a real villain, and they try and kill you. It's just so funny. It really plays on the idea of the anti-hero, how thin the line is between the anti-hero and the true villain of the show. It really makes you question the morality of the heroes. Are any of us truly heroes? What's the difference between the light and the dark? We're always just one action away. I guess it's knowing your limits.
No.
Sorry. And he was smoking hot.
Oh, he was hot. And this is when his reveal came, that was very much like, this is beauty privilege. This is because, sorry, we're all like, he's hot, and then when it's revealed he's Sauron, it's just like
genuine shock. Oh, like,
not she. Gladriel, maybe. But do we like how much of a love story? I guess I understand what you mean. It was a love story, but only because we're filling in the gaps of like it needed. That could have been taken further. So Gladriel really had like a shock horror moment.
That would have been more fun.
I've kissed Sauron. But
she's also a little bit she's too shrewd.
Well, it took her fucking long enough, didn't it? She was the one convinced.
If that was me, I would have been engaged by the time I found out. Oh my God.
Why are we getting married in Mordor? Oh.
What is this wedding ring?
Penny drop. Yeah.
Why is my bridal party dead?
Oh, they smell a bit weird. They've got some goo on them. Why do my bridesmaids look like they've just come out of a womb sack? I don't know.
Everywhere.
Guys, if you've watched the films, that bit would have killed.
Real nerd girl shit.
Yeah, I think it was a good series. I did enjoy it, but I think on balance still prefer the films, but we'll definitely keep watching.
For me, it feels like a separate thing, but also,
yeah, that's a fair comment.
I can't lie, it's a little disappointing, but I'll still watch it. And do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I feel like if I was in a different atmosphere watching it with someone maybe a bit tipsy, I would have enjoyed it more. You know, it's a real Sunday night filler. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
It's not. I thought it was a standalone, to be taken seriously drama that you can just really get into the storyline. but it's more like it was a bit melodramatic. So it's just something you just watch with someone and laugh. No shade. They're my favorite shows. Yeah. But honestly, the finale, despite my scathing review, the finale and the heartwarming moments of Lenny Henry himself will remain if I was thinking about the best bits of TV this year, despite having to suffer through that series, I'm not going to lie, the season finale made it worth it. It was a really, really good episode of television. And that's all I have to say about that. Sorry, I will stop doing that eventually.
I was just looking at some of the 1-star reviews on Rotten Tomatoes to see if I could find any that were
these are going to be
particularly funny or scary. I mean, this one's a bit harsh. The worst thing ever happened to Tolkien, brackets, his own death included. Yeah. That's a bit much. Unintentional comedy at its best. Is that
Wasn't that funny?
Review? Yeah, was it? Unfortunately, it becomes too much painful to watch after cute couple episodes. A mystery box show, but you guess every mystery 3 episodes in. Not all of us did.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Also, if you've read the books,
Oh yeah, piss off.
Yeah, I don't know if
I knew everything.
Read the books,
it was so predictable. Obviously, you've basically read the script.
It was so predictable, except when it didn't follow the books, which I hated. That's not a review, but I'm sure that some people will say that.
Also, it's a warm-up season. Warm-up seasons, not that many shows have good first seasons. I don't know if that's true.
Even though I looked forward to watching this show, I gave up after 1 episode. It was like watching a group of people LARP Lord of the Rings.
LARP?
Live action role play.
Oh, next.
Sorry. Oh, gosh. What a god-awful piece of crap. One of the worst adaptations I've ever seen. I made an account just to express how terrible this show is.
But also, this show,
you need to get a life.
Yeah, it is coming in with high expectations.
True. Like, they've been making this for years.
This is years of writing.
Years worth of writing, shooting, producing, yeah.
The villain elf guy gave a good performance.
The one that was still more elfish.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
Who is half human, half elf? Galadriel's bestie.
Oh, Elrond, who's in Lord of the Rings. That's Arwen's mother. His father, sorry.
Okay, because that's what my cousin told me, and I said, "Shut your goddamn mouth." He had brown hair. How can
he did. Listen, I don't know why. I don't make the casting choices, but they could have at least given him long brunette hair.
Just because, guys, work on the assumption that I don't know what's going on. Also, I don't know what's happening. You can make any character anything in a different adaptation, but then make it different enough that I know, like, okay, this is just like a completely different.
It's a different take on it.
Yeah, which would have been. Yeah. I would have preferred a slightly more adult take on it. You can still have like, this is like, not me going on a rant, I'll keep it short. I do feel like there's a myth that things either need to be wholesome or really dark. Like, you can look at Stranger Things. That's a perfect example of quite a wholesome, hearty show with really dark and serious themes.
Yeah, agree. We'll write that on a postcard and send it to the producers.
No, I also feel like these guys I feel bad for how much hate they're getting, because I definitely want there to be another season. So I don't want to do too much.
And these shows, no matter what the outcome, are, like we've said, like months, years of people's lives. They're consumed by this. This is their work. We shouldn't.
Maybe they were
be
too close.
Too harsh.
Maybe they need to just take a step back.
But maybe we
Honey-
also all need to take a step back from what
Yeah.
and manage our expectations. Sorry, that makes it sound like we should lower them. But no, it's like, what is this show? What is it?
Yeah.
Let's take it for what it is. And like you say, we should probably treat it as if it was a separate, related but separate
they should as
individual
well.
thing. Yeah, reviewers should too. Just
No, the
everybody
people
pipe
making
down.
it should.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
It does need something a bit more different. But yeah, the twist was great. Next.
Yeah.
I'm a bit bored of talking about this show, sorry.
Well, then can we please talk about Disenchanted?
Yes.
The sequel to Enchanted.
That's not why I made that face.
Okay. Why
Go
do you
on.
not? Oh no, I feel like we're going to have a difference of opinion.
I want to see what you think.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I really
that's
enjoyed
fair.
it because I think it must have been super fun to play and get to be the opposite and be the villain. Yeah. And even down to like the way that when they were doing their villain duet. So this is
that is Song of the Year.
Incredible. Song of the Year. So we had Giselle, aka Amy Adams, and
Maya
Rudolph, but I don't know. I can't remember what her character was called.
Name is, no, I called her Maya Rudolph.
The way that they move and did that duet is exactly how it would have been animated as a Disney film, like those kind of like over the top things. I just thought it was absolute perfection.
It was that might again something that I wouldn't say the whole film was like the best film I've ever seen, but that moment was one of the best things I've ever seen. I can't lie, it was incredible. It's a real standout moment. And Amy Adams is her name?
Yeah.
Because I knew Maya Rudolph had it in her because I've seen her on like doing sketch shows and like does like obviously really like, over the top characters in comedies. I didn't know Amy Adams had it like that. I knew she was a good actress, but I didn't know she had it like the theatre in her. Like to that extent.
But did you did you not think that from Enchanted?
Yes, but think about the range she's shown from the character in Enchanted to the character in Disenchanted. I just think it's not like
it's like characterizations, the body movement as well, like just these little tiny tweaks and the way that they cut, like splice the things together, the different scenes. It was honestly just how a song would have been animated. It was incredible. I think the lyrics.
The reason I wasn't being too harsh on it though was because when I watched it, I was very tired.
The reason why you weren't being too harsh?
Yeah, because I wasn't blown away, but I enjoyed it. I wasn't like blown away. But then I was like, but I'm also exhausted. So a lot inside me just wants to go to bed.
Do you think that you would have been harsher had you had more of your wits about you? Or do you think you would have enjoyed it more?
I can't say.
Yeah. Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
I can't say, but
who's to know?
It's an enjoyable film, and I think you did it right because you watched the first, then the second. I was
really happy that I'd done it that way, and just because sometimes you can't really be bothered going back to watching something that you watched. But I honestly watched Enchanted when it came out. Don't know how many times I've ever watched it since, and it came out 20 years ago. So
it's a great film.
Yeah,
but
fantastic.
This will be too. I'm sure I'll watch this again. So
it gave me a good appreciation of Disenchanted because I knew where we'd left off.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. But
the plot is random as well. It's like I thought I knew like she makes a wish and she's like becomes a villain, but it's so different to how I feel. Like the idea that
I had no idea what the plot was at all. I'd not done watched any trailers. But yeah, exactly. It was so full of all of our Once Upon a Time dreams.
Clock Tower curse.
Yeah, the sucking of the magic from a different
reality to say.
It's just incredible. Loved it.
I don't want to get personal.
Okay, but
this is a fictional character, so it's fine. Okay, so you know the scene where, sorry, I don't know anybody's names. Amy Adams' stepdaughter.
Yeah, Morgan.
when Morgan is like feeling left out because they're fawning over the new baby and they keep calling the baby like a true-born baby of
Andalasia.
Yeah. Okay, like how are you not getting why she would be a bit like upset about that when you're not even from there?
Who?
The human person.
Wait.
The king's wife. The queen.
Oh, true.
The
Yeah. She's not. She isn't. She's not Andalasian. She's also from.
Like, are you dumb? You've been there for 5 minutes. And you're like, suddenly I've forgotten everything. What it feels like. I hit Teddy.
An absolute smash.
Yeah, I did like. I thought that the way. I feel like they could have done more with her character. It was just like, but she's not. That's a waste. I don't know. That's my only critique.
The queen.
Yeah, like, why are you acting? But then that's how people act when they
move.
Like, honestly,
they really get consumed by a place.
They do. It's like,
and also when a baby's born, it's people just don't think about. They weren't trying to be mean. They didn't know. Didn't even notice she was upset.
Andalasia.
Look,
it would be one thing if the baby was from somewhere that's like that place is really like heavily discriminated against and they're trying to insert some pride into the baby. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then they're also, you've got to remember that this is a royal family talking.
Ew.
They don't not thinking about that. They're just like, well, obviously she's going to be proud to be an Andalasian.
Yeah. Okay, that was my only critique.
I thought I can't remember. I don't know what his character name is, but Patrick Dempsey was a bit like. Meh.
There was nothing much for him to do, though.
No, there wasn't.
It was really about Amy Adams' character. For me, the star of the show was obviously Maya Rudolph 8, but Giselle.
What's Amy Adams?
Yeah,
Giselle. Yeah,
and her cat, Squirrel.
Oh my god! Yes, I was going to say
amazing.
When the chipmunk became a cat. I just think you should have stayed at the cat because your markings, you make a good cat. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, and somebody who had like a deeper take would talk about the symbolism of like demonizing women as evil when they all the I don't know, I can't
in reference to the cat and the chipmunk or just in general.
The cat, the being super fashionable and vain.
Yeah.
But like I don't care. Sorry.
I thought that they might start making her ugly.
No. Villains are hot. I don't know where they got that from. Honey, what's her name? Magnificent had to turn herself into that. She was sexy.
True.
To be honest, she still kind of had a thing when she wasn't. So, you know?
Oh, damn it. I had something that was good. Oh, I loved the nod to the paperclip wizard from
Word.
in Word, yeah. The scroll.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that is essentially. Surely that's modelled after Clippy or whatever. Is it Clippy?
I don't know. So good because there was a version where you could change the clip. Do you remember?
Yeah,
brilliant.
That clip was so fucking annoying. Not helpful at all.
Loved it.
Yeah. For callback comedy value in shows like this, great. What can I say? Pretty big cast as well.
Yeah, didn't feel too like Disney Channel, like it felt like a film, and also didn't feel too like Valentine's Day. Do you know what I mean? Like big budget cast, felt very natural. Enjoyed. Would watch again.
Yeah, me too. It made me want to have a Once Upon a Time party even more.
What,
for the outfits.
Okay.
No. No, an actual, like, everybody gets dressed up. It just looks so fun.
Yeah.
If I was going to have, or we, if this podcast was going to have Once Upon a Time, but I don't necessarily mean Once Upon a Time, the TV show, but, you know, just in general, would you go hero or villain?
Oh, I think I'd have to go damsel in distress.
Oh, okay.
Because, honey, let me tell you, the wench dress is coming out. Yeah.
True.
Sidekick. I don't know. Something a bit off brand. Not saying that me being a sidekick is off brand.
A sidekick, good or evil? Like, which side?
Maybe like a lovable villain sidekick.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know if I'd want to be a villain. I'm really not in the mood. I'm trying to invite more light into my life right now.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Wow, sorry.
I just want it for the outfits. And also just the pithy remarks.
Maybe I'd go as like the queen of the fairies, Tinkerbell's mother.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because she was a villain, Loki.
Yeah.
Did she do anything villainous? No. Do I mean I just didn't like her that
There was
much?
a glint in her eye.
She was so judgy.
It was kind of mean to Tinkerbell, no?
It was, yeah.
If I remember correctly. Yeah. Just because Tinkerbell wanted to actually talk with people.
I'm sorry I want to leave the house, Mother Fairy.
Yeah, sorry I don't want to just be here and mine fairy dust.
Or maybe I'd be the Shrek adaptation of the fairy godmother.
Ooh.
Or most likely just be there's so many adaptations of the fairy godmother, goddamn. I'd definitely be Brandy Cinderella, honey.
I can see that.
I love that. I love that dress.
Well, guys, what
about you?
That's it. I mean,
you'd have to go as Regina. If you
I was
didn't,
just gonna say, I just love, like, she has so many on-point outfit choices.
Yeah, she does.
I really want like you know, the coats that basically like it's a jacket, but then the back of it has the tail. Yeah, a bit like gorgeous. A full skirt, but just Or actually, it might be, you know, it could be a full skirt that sort of half goes to the front, so it really has some movement in it, you know.
I feel like you should arrive as the mayor and just be completely like method.
Oh yeah.
Invite everyone to the party, be like really professional, then go at the back. Have like a moment where like lightning strikes and then like there's a green light and you just walk out and you're the evil queen.
Yeah.
I will produce the hell out of this party.
Cackling. Yes. Oh, I love it. But then also there'll be another puff of smoke. You'll turn to go get a drink at the bar, and there she'll be, the buxom bar went. Did you see that? It was the evil queen. Yes, I'll be all the characters in one go at my party.
And I will be wearing a headset. Absolutely.
That's why you need to be one of the fairies.
Oh my God. And
so
then
you can whiz around.
Absolutely. People in the audience who you think are just there are like start doing like a sequined like dance song like at the beginning of a musical.
It's basically Secret Cinema for my birthday.
Hey,
do you think we get the same people?
What's their agents? Let's call them up. Oh my God. We just rip off Secret Cinema and we start Wait, Rewind the Tape parties.
Yes, guys.
They're
come
better
on, you know
because they're smaller and more niche.
Yeah, exactly.
And what people really want to do.
It's a lot more underground. It's a bit more understated. It's not so mainstream.
And it's way more expensive because we can't get those kind of deals.
Yeah, we're all about democracy and like making things accessible to people, but the start price will be £10,000
because we absolutely cannot afford this.
No, and you will prepay before any information is released.
It'll be at the you know when people have parties,
the upstairs of the pub. Yeah. And there'll also be a minimum bar spend that you guys have to hit because we can't afford to pick up that tab. It will ruin us.
Flashbacks to my 17th birthday where no one could leave the restaurant because there were like 100 people there. The bill was insane.
Oh no. Yes. Yeah, that's stressful.
The food was disgusting.
Oh, that's even worse. Wasted? No
shade to them because it's like at the time, I'm sure it's closed down by now, but it was like a landmark restaurant. You know, there's old,
yeah. Sorry, I heard Blandmark. I was thinking
Blandmark.
Yeah. Is that a restaurant group that I need to know about?
A Blandmark.
That is your 1-star review. Landmark, more like Blandmark, am I right? Oh God.
Oh my God, I was acting a fool that night. Now I think about it. I haven't actually ever really realised how I was behaving that night. I should be so embarrassed.
Are these stories for air or off?
No, it's just like an underage girl who doesn't drink, who was very intoxicated. God damn, I was acting crazy.
Were parents at the restaurant?
No.
They must have known that you were having it there though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to pay a hefty deposit.
When the Blandmark manager called your parents and said, this is getting out of hand, please take them away.
I don't think at that point it was even I think we had it there intentionally because we knew we could get away with
get drinks. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always a few places.
Yes. They don't exist anymore. Or they've had to change names, but not change hands.
Rebrand.
Wow. We are such dweebs.
Yeah, I know. Some things never change.
Yep. Guys, but what will change is we're going to finish on time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. What are we watching next week? What are we talking about?
Allegedly, the best shows of 2022.
Okay. Right. So we'll just be talking about Game of... Oh, that's the thing.
No, save it for the episode because I've started formulating my list of things I enjoyed watching.
No, this is not this is more just a random thing. Oh. Are you aware that people, or maybe not everybody does this, maybe only one person said this to me, and one person said to me, have you been watching Hot D? And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Oh my God. I thought you said Hot D.
I did.
Oh, Hot D.
Yeah. Because,
no, and I wish I'd never heard that. It must be. Both. It's like the first time I heard the phrase "the naughties." I almost threw up.
That's not quite the same as Hot D.
At the time, I was honestly the same feeling I had now. I've had when I heard the naughties. I was like, "What?" And now I say it. So
because it makes sense, but at the time you're thinking naughties. Oof,
can't we just call it House of Dragon instead of House of the Dragon like I do?
Or just call it Game of Thrones Dragons.
Just Game of Thrones. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, well, let me compile my list or think about shows I've watched. Oh, I wonder if we'll have any crossover.
I don't think we will.
I don't think we've watched your list. This will be good.
I only know one, White Lotus.
Yeah.
And I know there's some random terrible shows that we've watched that will definitely come.
I need to check to see what shows I have actually watched. Oh, do you know what?
It's impossible to remember.
Obviously the classics.
It's too hard to remember.
Okay, well...
And guys, this won't be like the best shows that have come out this year. It's just like what we've watched that we've enjoyed because we don't watch enough.
Maybe we should make the list, but take off any of the major hitters just to see how left the list is.
Yeah, I know
like
what you
maybe
mean,
we
yeah.
shouldn't have House the Dragon on it, White Lotus, Stranger Things. Those are all like, it's too obvious.
Oh, is that your list?
No, not necessarily, but like to say.
I just thought it would be a nice chance to talk about all the other good television we've watched that we didn't do an episode on. And more importantly, the bad television we've watched that we've loved, but could never do an episode on because it's just not enough.
Yeah, true. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, join us next week to hear our list of the best.
And like, we are never listening again. Good night.
The best worst TV that we've watched this year.
But we can't call it that because that's just being a hater.
No, that's just mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's mean.
And it's not really the worst because hell, we watched it. So
I mean, and we got through this episode. Joke, please make a season 2. I don't want to be personally blamed. And I don't know why I feel so bad for the cast. They're getting paid a lot of money.
they're okay.
They're fine.
Yeah.
No,
but even so, it's never nice when people make super
low blows.
Yeah.
I think I just feel protective of only because it's like everyone's already shit on the show. Why add to it unless you feel that strongly? And I don't. So
yeah.
And I'm still gonna watch it. Oh, we can talk about The Witcher next week.
Oh, there's a new Witcher mini-series coming out. I think it might be animated. No, it's not animated. It's not animated. Sorry.
Oh,
but
there'll
it's
be some
not
animation. On the list.
It doesn't have Henry Cavill. It's not about Geralt.
What's it about?
It's about a different set of people. I don't know. It looks really good, but it's out on Christmas Day, so that's how you know that Netflix are really fucking banking on this.
Just give me Bridgerton and leave me alone. But sure.
That's not coming until.
Yeah, those days are over.
Year.
That was the perfect time to release it. Oh, that was a sweet spot. Can't wait to see Squid Game either. That would be good.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know how.
I've forgotten about all of this stuff that we watched at the beginning of this year. This year has felt long, even though it's gone. Was it not?
No. That's last year.
Yeah, maybe.
It had to be, because this year's been terrible for me. And I feel like the shows have really reflected that.
Yeah.
Dark and slow, with a few good ones that aren't easily available to stream. I feel like TV was better last year.
Can't remember. But let's save this, guys. Otherwise, what material will we have for next week?
We're just going to talk about our personal lives anyway.
Yeah, stay tuned for more Hinge updates. Lol. Everybody, please take bets on when you think I will delete Hinge.
It's got to be better than the times we just used to read off Tinder bios. Those are the days. Oh, gosh.
Well, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait. Oh my god, yes! Rewind the tape!